to get an assessment or not? That is the question. So last year I received an official assessment. I do have insurance through my job. I have a PPO. So they only charged me like $95. That was my portion of the copay for the assessment. I know that people talk about it costs a lot of money, but you really need to either have the organization that you're going to have an assessment, do a pre-approval with your insurance. You can look through the documents on your insurance's website to see what it is that they cover, or you can contact your insurance company to see if it is covered. Now, with that being said, I'm speaking of insurance. People can also pay out of pocket. Paying out of pocket could be hundreds of dollars. Depending on where you go and what they do, it might be a few $1,000s. I'm not sure. Outside of insurance, but you can always ask those questions to the assessment organization. Here's what I will say about assessments going forward in 2025 and beyond. Right now in America, we are in a place where the people who are about to take power believe that autism is an epidemic. They believe that autism is something that needs to be cured. It looks like we could be headed to a place that is reminiscent of the 1930s and 40s in Germany. So my feeling on this since the election has actually changed. As a person who is autistic, I honestly would not recommend anyone who is an adult to get an assessment and have it formally placed in their medical records. Because we know that Republicans in red states who are attorneys general or prosecutors have requested medical information for women's periods when they are tracking to see who's pregnant, who's not. Also, as a side note, I do not give doctors my last period anymore because we don't know where we're going. I live in Michigan, but my governor ran for her last term, so usually Michigan flips back and forward between Republicans and Democrats. And based on the way that Michigan voted this last term, yeah, I'm not going to do anything that could make me unsafe. So autism does not appear in my medical record. However, my therapist has written a letter so that I could receive accommodations from work and school. So there is a potential workaround if you need accommodations for work or school. Your therapist has to be a clinical psychologist licensed in your state or beyond. Could be a psychiatrist, but with their license number and things like that, name, blah, 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 written on the letterhead, what your diagnosis is and what accommodations you're requesting. So my personal recommendation based on where we are in this country right now, because we could be headed toward eugenics, is to not put it in your medical record, not have a conversation with a doctor unless it is a very trusted person and they know you don't want it in your medical record, so they won't place it there. Because I actually have a nurse. She is a nurse practitioner. We've talked about it. She is aware, but she is very supportive. She spends time with me. She knows and understands me and is extremely supportive in so many different ways. So if you have a practitioner like that, and there are things that you need to share because it could help you medically, then I would say go ahead, but also make it clear you do not want the diagnosis in your medical record, because what you could find is that your treatment is different times that you go to the hospital or clinic when people see it there. You may be infantilized, not listened to, and we don't want that, especially if you are a Black woman or a person of color, because we already have difficult times with medical professionals listening to us. So just my 2 cents, my little 5 minutes on being autistic, and if you should or should not get a diagnosis or have it placed in your medical record. All right, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.